Good afternoon. I have been asked a question today, and the question was asked to me because I have diabetes, and how can I help this person? The diabetes sugar level is 600, and he does have other issues. So this was for the basic knowledge that I have for myself may not be the basic knowledge that he needs. I asked, what insulin are you taking? And she said, Humalog. Then the next question I forgot to ask, is it just Humalog, or is it a Humalog 50-50, or is it a Humalog 75-25? Because that would make a difference in what I was talking about. So I have diabetes, and a lot of times I'm out of control, and a lot of times it's my fault. Oh, I forgot to turn the phone off. I don't answer the phone, so I'm going to decline it. And now I'm going to block all the calls. Never fails. Never fails. But anyway, so I started doing research because actually I don't have an answer. Now, he's losing weight. He has congestive heart failure. He has kidney disease. And she said something else. I forgot what it was. So when I'm busy handing out my advice, I'm going, no. That may not be the thing to do. When I wake up in the morning, I have my coffee. And in my coffee, I put my MCT. And I did a video on that, and somebody asked me, what does the MCT stand for? So, I don't know, is it a name brand? No, it wasn't a name brand. It stands for medium chain triglycerides. And so I'm spending $10, $12 on this thing, and I thought it was a name brand, when all I need is just coconut oil. And what's it cost you tops? $10. We don't know about next week with this inflation, but they're exactly the same thing. So I put this in there. It curbs my appetite. And then I'm not very good at my intermediate fasting, and they holler, you shouldn't intermediate fast when you're diabetic. But it's really not giving me any problem. It's helping. And since I have insulin resistance, I'm working for insulin sensitivity. So I'm going to go over this list that I found of what causes high blood sugar. Some of the things I'm going to disagree with, and some of the things I'm not. But remember, what's good for me is not necessarily good for you. So what drives up your blood sugar? The first thing they said is coffee. Good old coffee. It may spike my blood sugar, but I haven't noticed. But it might spike your blood sugar. So when you have your coffee, see if that causes a spike. And this one, the next one, I find very true, because I've been having insomnia lately, and my blood sugar has skyrocketed because I am not sleeping at night. I have some tragedy in my life. As y'all know, I lost my Michael. And there's other things that are going on in the normal days of life. I lay down to sleep. My mind wakes up. I'm up for the night. And then I sleep a little bit in the day, but it's broken sleep. So it's the same pretty much as not sleeping. And that drives your sugar up. And then the next thing on my list is artificial sweeteners. I don't do artificial sweeteners, and I do my best not to do them. If I want a sweet coffee, I'm putting the real thing in there. I'm putting real sugar or I'm putting honey. Because what artificial sugar does, it affects the bacteria in your gut. And then it takes that bacteria is altered into glucose, what you were trying not to take in the first place. So it can put those pounds on your rear, and it can up your blood sugar. So if you do artificial sweeteners, take into account how you feel, how your body is reacting to these sugars, because you may be getting fatter from the artificial sugars, or you may be having blood sugar spikes. Because the gut bacteria is altered and changed into glucose. I know I said that before, but I'm repeating it because I go, really? I didn't know that. And I know a lot of stuff. So, let me get my eyes focused again. Dehydration. That is one of my main problems with high blood sugar. Every time my sugar goes high, I got to break out the diapers because the sugar has to go somewhere and the kidney doesn't want it. So it is expelled in urine. And urine equals water. You're getting dehydrated. Therefore, you need to drink more water. And then find the reason why you think your blood sugar is spiking. I found my reasons, and I'm not doing too good. Number one, my sugar spikes. I haven't eaten my breakfast yet, and I think it's 1 o'clock, so I'm into my intermediate fasting. But when I break my fast, if I don't eat the right thing in the right proportion, then my sugar is going to spike with that first meal of the day, my breakfast, my breakfast. So I had lost my train of thought. So I was talking about missing breakfast. For me, I miss breakfast. And so on that point, I disagree with that. And I disagree with eating 5 small meals a day too, because your body's always active. Oh, when I break my fast, if my sugar spikes, I am so hungry. My body says, feed me, feed me, feed me. And why does it do that? It does that because the insulin is not getting in the cells and it's broken and the cells are hungry. So the over surplus of insulin is really not a good thing at all. And I'll go into that a little bit further in another thing. I just sat down, I'm answering a question for someone, and I get off on a tangent and I talk too much. Okay, now the one thing I do have is that dawn phenomenon. Have you ever heard of the dawn phenomenon? You got your blood sugars going good, you go to bed at night, and you wake up and you're over 200. What happened? Well, this has to do with a surge of hormones going into your body, and you can't control that. So maybe when you wake up, you need your Humalog, your fast-acting insulin, to bring it down. I do the slow, I do the fast. And sometimes I'll just drink water, do my exercise, my shower and everything, and that dawn phenomenon will go down by itself. And I don't need my insulin, just my regular shot. And I'll drink my coffee to get my edge off. That is good stuff. I got my coconut oil in there, and it's called a bulletproof coffee. Okay, what is on my list next? Get my light. Okay, the next one is fatty meals. And I kind of disagree with that in part, and I really need to do more research on that one. So looking to the future, then I'll be doing fatty meals with insulin. Now, when I don't have my coconut oil, I'm going to put butter in here. When I first started doing my bulletproof coffee, I did it with butter because fat has no effect on your insulin. It's not going to rise. It's not going to lower. It's neutral. So, fatty meals, definitely more research. So that's all I have to say about that. And then the next thing will cause your blood sugar to go up is the Women's Day red flag. Because when the women are having their menstrual periods, then their hormones are all messed up. And so at that time of the month, you have to be more vigilant with your glucose intake, and you need to definitely be drinking more water. Can't do anything about those hormones except eat right, drink right. And then it says smoking. I used to smoke before I had diabetes and never smoked after. I got diabetes in my 40s. And I think it's because I gained so much weight. I got up to over 300 pounds. And it was stress eating. I was so stressed. So the overweight and the stress brought on my diabetes. And I just love it. I can't get rid of it. But I'm working on it. I am much better than I was. So, point for me. Okay. Now, this smoking and diabetes actually needs more research, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But the risk of smoking is heart attacks, strokes, heart disease, kidney failure. So I'm glad I quit smoking. Okay, this was one I thought was kind of unusual when I saw it, but makes sense. When you go to the beach and you lay out and you get these little blisters all over your body, you've put your body under stress. And then your body's doing that flight or fight thing to heal itself. That causes, let me see what I put. It is, oh, I jumped the gun. Okay, sorry. I always do that to y'all. But your body's healing and your body's in pain, and your body says that burn is stress, blood sugar up. So do you have a lot of stress in your life? If you do, what can you do about it? I have been working on my stress video, but I took pictures of my notes, and then I had the technology man fix my phone, and he took away all my notes, so I have to start on that. But you have to be careful of stress. Not only does it rise your blood sugar, but it is also a silent killer. Get your stress under control, and you just might get your diabetes under control. And then the last one is infections. And why would infections make your blood sugar go up? I got a cold, my sugar's up. I got a flu, my sugar's up. I got a UTI, my sugar's up. Well, what does this is your body sends in germ-fighting chemicals. And then this messes with your insulin. So when those germ-fighting chemicals come into your body, how does this affect your insulin? Because your body goes into stress. Stress has so many avenues you wouldn't even think about it. So when you got a cold and flu, lots of water, chicken soup is wonderful. And, just take extra precautions when you have these UTIs and stuff. Now, when I was talking to my family member about this bad insulin of 600, I said, well, maybe the advice I give her is wrong. Because I told her, I have a sliding scale, but we have to take into account that I weigh over 200 pounds. And so these averages right here are good for me, because if I go over 151, then I take 2 units. But if I'm over 400, then I take 12 units. So if I am losing weight and I have other medications and medical reasons, I may not want to use the sliding scale, because if your insulin is based on your weight, so this sliding scale here is my weight. And then you also you have to take into account the insulin you're taking. If you're taking the slow acting insulin, I do it twice a day, in the morning and in the night. And I try to keep my times right. And then in the daytime, I'll do my fast acting insulin. Now, the fast acting insulin, you can get over the counter at Walmart, and it's under $25 in Florida. But you have to have a prescription for the slow. But you can get the mix. That's where it's mixed together, and I'm not exactly how that works. That's more research in another video. So, how the Humalog works, you can take it before you eat or after you eat. And then it takes 15 minutes for it to kick into action. It will peak in 1 hour. In 1 hour, you got your peak insulin. Now, that's going to lower your blood sugar, and that's going to last for 2 to 4 hours. And if you don't eat again, then you're good for the day. You eat again, or you get stressed, or you don't drink your water, you have to monitor how you eat. I even have a form. I didn't get it, but I have a form too that I fill out how I eat, when I eat, and how I feel when I ate. And by knowing how foods react to you, that's how you do it. Now, let's see. I already told you that. So how do you figure your dose? It depends on the form of insulin you're using, okay? I don't think my doctor gave me enough long-acting insulin, so I think when I go back, she's going to increase it. Okay. So definitely, like I said before, your weight dictates how much insulin you get. Now, my family member didn't tell me which insulin they get. Are they getting the mixed or are they getting the plain? And then he says he gets 5 units of Humalog 3 times a day. That doesn't make sense to me until I started doing my research. And that kind of makes sense. And then, you know, what are the goals for your blood sugar too? You're going to bring down your blood sugar. So, and then it depends on how much you exercise and when you exercise. Maybe you don't know it, but when you go out on your jog, you're putting stress on your body. Your sugar goes up, but it's not a sugar you're worried about because it's going to work on your insulin sensitivity and eventually it's going to go down. But if it jumps too high, then you need to do your fast-acting insulin. So always, I think you should test your blood before you exercise and test your blood after your exercise. And you don't have to do this every time. You just do it until you know how exercise affects your body. And then when you know how it is affecting your body, you know, they keep track of the changes that come in, and you'll find it's very informative. That's not what I wanted to say, but my mind, it's so wonderful. And then another thing too, a lot of the medications you take, they affect your blood sugar too. So do your dual digits. Do what you need to do to check out your medications to see if they affect your blood sugar, and if they do, immediately take that to your doctor, because the medicines you're taking may not be that important, but your blood sugar too high will kill you and too low will kill you. And if it doesn't kill you, it's going to maybe kill part of your body inside you, give you heart disease, lack of foot. There's all kinds of things, ugly things that blood sugar does. And so far as the sliding scale, okay, you need to take it up with your doctor, because like I said, this one is based on my weight. And I was going to send a copy of this to my family member, but then if he's losing weight, then this sliding scale might not be to him. And again, she didn't tell me if she's taken straight or the mix. But my old routine was that when my sugar went up and I was on metformin, which stole all my vitamin B12, which gave me another problem, I would drink a bottle of water. And if I felt good, I would exercise. But mostly when my sugar is up, I don't feel good. And then I would take a shower for 20 minutes to get the circulation going in my blood, to use up the extra glucose. And I'd eat an egg because the protein would counteract the sugar. And so it was drink water, exercise, eat an egg, and take a shower. And then I would wait 20 minutes, and if it wasn't effective, then I would do it again. And that was before I knew about Humalog and a Novolog. So anyway, I think that about does the information I wanted to do. And you remember, I'm a wellness advocate. I'm a home economics major. Like, share, and subscribe. Love you much. And y'all have a great, blessed day.